I decided I wasn't even going to put on any makeup for this one. Normally I'll put on some mascara or something, but I went in to go get ready, and you know, I went in to go wash my face and put on makeup and stuff. And because I had seen a TikTok, I was like, oh my God, this is like so much confirmation to me. I've got to go in and talk about this. So I went in, you know, I started washing my face, and I still had the TikToks going, and this music came on, and all of a sudden it hit me so strongly, this music. And then I got this vision, and I got so emotional, and I just started bawling my head off. And so then I was like, oh my God, I got to talk about this, because this is something that I think it's part of, for people to kind of start understanding or something. But I'll just kind of explain it, because there's a couple different things I wanted to explain. So anyways, yesterday I did a TikTok, and it had come into my head just all of a sudden, about, if you want to know about a physical ailment, ask yourself to reveal to you the past life that you carry that pain from. And so that was yesterday. I think it was the night before yesterday, I was stretching. This is so weird. See, this is what I'm saying. It's a communication that you have to learn to translate. So the day before that, or the evening before that, I was doing my stretches. You know, I like to do stretching and stuff. It just, I don't know, it feels good. And every time I pull so many, I mean, it's very effective. And so I was doing my stretches, and there's this one, because you know, I keep trying to straighten my spine. I keep working on trying to heal my eyes and straighten my spine. I mean, there's more things I would do. I try and dissolve these freaking insecure implants on my chest. I try and dissolve those. But I know everything is gonna, when we get access to these machines, that we can raise our vibration. I know all this stuff will be healed, but I still know we have these certain abilities. So I still work on them, even if, you know, that's not there. I still work on visualization, and then plus, what was it yesterday? It was kind of that one, just see it the way you want it. So, you know, like, see your body the way you want it. See, well, I just know this works on manifestation. When you look at something, don't see what's there, see what you want there. So anyways, back to this story. So I was doing my stretches, and there's this, like, kind of a really tight pull on one side of my back. And I always think of that as being, you know, the twist, you know, that it just will get me kind of cockeyed. You know, I think I start sitting kind of like, I don't know. I think if I didn't do stretching and stuff, I could turn into Quasimodo. I don't know. So anyways, I was, when I was doing the stretches, a lot of times I'll ask for healing and ask for, like, assistance from my guides and, you know, like my team, the energy that's around me. For, you got to make sure this is where you need discernment and stuff. You always want to be calling in the energy that is there for your best interest, there that is helping you in your mission. You know, you don't want any interference, because there's energies that feed off of all sorts of things. And there's a lot of trickery and stuff like that. And not all of it is evil. They, you know, a lot of spirits just have that kind of sense of humor. They're tricky, they're trickery, you know, they have fun with it. So anyways, so when I was doing my stretching, and it's trippy too, is you will feel like, it's weird. I have felt like, you know, like it's like somebody grabbing your arms and pulling. It's trippy. There's all sorts of things. You'll feel something moving up your spine. You'll feel it's kind of like a scanning or something. There really is assistance around us that helps us. And that's what we're going to be tapping into. I just think that there's so much interference with this frequency weapons that they're using on us. So I think that is one of the things that's causing us so much issues with people waking up and healing ourselves, and it's just kind of blocking us from our best selves. That's what the whole frequency thing is. I mean, we desire to be higher frequency because our higher self is a higher frequency, which also you could think of your higher self as your high mind, your higher mind, the mind you have with a higher perspective that's able to see things in a broader way. Not so like we are the microscope, that the avatar is the microscope that is on the, my nose is stopped up, I think, from all the crying because I was really bawling my head off. So she demanded to have the chair, and she just walks up, and like I had the camera and stuff all set up. She just walks up and just stands there, like staring at it until I move it. And then she gets in that one, and then it's like, well, I really just want to be like you. I think sometimes she gets in the chair because she thinks her and I can both fit, but she takes up more than the chair. Like sometimes big dogs, they just don't get it. So, anyways, so that night I was asking to reveal to me in my past life that was showing me where that pain, where I carry that pain from, why I hold on to this pain, why my back is not straight. What is it that is holding me? You know, what am I not seeing? I need you to show me. And then I'm sure maybe it was I'm positive that it wasn't last night I was doing the stretches. It was the night before, then yesterday I made the TikTok. So it was on my mind about the revealing to me. And it's weird too, because I even went through and I thought, well, I already know this past life, this past life, this past life. I mean, I was going through the list of all the ones I knew, and I was like, man, I really know so many more than so many people. Maybe I'm asking too much to want to know another one. Because, and it's not like you see every single bit of the past life. Like I don't know why you always want to clean me. You see like snippets, but you get an overall feeling. Like for me, everybody's got their own way of visualization and understanding and stuff, their own way that they come at this universe and their selves, basically. So for me, I get like snapshots, but then I get like a visualization, but it's like a deeper into the snapshot. It's like it goes deeper into it or something. So I can see, but in that I have a deeper understanding. Like I just know an overall without going through and seeing every single snapshot, if you get what I'm saying. And it's kind of like that micro macro thing. It's kind of like that same thing with realities, and everything is so next to us. It's everything has to do with our consciousness. And this has just been like a child playing paper dolls, you know. And now we're going to learn, you know, really who and what we are. I think it's super exciting. But so anyways, I had, I had gone through the different lives, and it's weird. I'll just say those too, because, you know, when people are sitting there thinking about past lives, I think they think of something super sensational or something. But past lives are normally just like regular lives, just like this, you know, they're just different experiences. And another thing too is the past lives, sensationalized, what was that I was going to say? Oh man, I can't remember what I was about to say. So this is very distracting. This is where energy that is disruptive also will, and it could be different energy. It could be one that's trying to disrupt the message. It could be, you know, all different, but they definitely are going to go to, you know, the being that doesn't have as much discernment over the energy that is interfering with them. It takes a lot. I mean, there's human beings, you know, that have no discernment, that don't have any idea. how much interference is going with them. So I feel like I'm so nasally right now. I'm so full of snot. So, okay, honey, I'm really clean. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I smell horrible. I don't know. So, anyways, with the past life things, so for me, and they all seem to have something to do with this current life, the ones that I'm shown, because you've got tons and tons. And so, one of them is I remember being some sort of, and this one I saw in the QHHT thing, was I was some sort of, I knew I was, I knew I was a higher status than other people. I lived kind of like a princess or something. I definitely was in some sort of wealthy kind of situation. And we had some sort of involvement with giants. And, but it got me killed. And I'm not sure what all, but I know that that had something to do with, it was something in my healing that I had to see. And after I saw that, I stopped having migraines. So, and when I got killed, I saw that I was hiding. Oh my gosh. Don't let me get in your way. I was hiding, and they found me and they pulled me out, and then they hit me with something like in the back of the head, and I fell down and died. And when I was seeing it as an observer. I wasn't seeing it like, but I could feel, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like you can see it, but you don't feel it. It's really hard to explain. So, in that one, that, there was something that, it was weird too, because when she told me to go to a place, I went out into the stars, and then I was with these 3 stars, and then we came down, and then they were giants. So I don't know, but I know everything is, there's something about our reality, and I feel so certain the stars are just their energy, depending on how big their energy is, and but it is consciousness, and it is different realities. So, and then there's another one where I know I was like some sort of Egyptian kind of princess or something, because I was separate again, where I couldn't make choices for myself. I had to live by duty, and I was in love with this, like a slave boy or something. I was in love with him, but there was that class thing, so you couldn't be with them, and if you were, you could get them killed. So there was a lot of stuff from that life that was been shown to me. Then one when I was an Indian, and the chief guy was my grandpa, and my grandpa is one of my guardians on the other side in this life right now. And I found that out by talking to the medium who went in to talk to my dad. Ooh, and I had a confirmation the other day too, because that medium, when she was talking to my dad, remember she said he was in this dark place, and I said, to me it was purgatory. You can't just go directly into high vibration when you're carrying low vibration, when you've got issues that you have to heal and stuff. And so yesterday, or a couple days ago, I saw a medium on TikTok, and she was doing sessions, and she said that a lot of souls have to go to a place, and she even showed a picture of it, and it was just like a dark room with a chair, but you have to go there. And even my grandpa was saying he goes in to help my dad, but my dad's out of there now because my dad's come to visit me, so he isn't in there. But it could have seemed like, 1,000 years to him, because it's a different time and space, like we just don't understand all that stuff yet. But anyways, so that talking to my grandpa, he is a guardian in this one, but I've also seen this past life one where he was the chief and I was his son, And I don't know what all went on, but there's something, I think that's why he's a guardian in this one. And I think that's why I have so much of this Native American understanding about their spiritual side and stuff. Like I have a deep understanding of them. Like if somebody put on Indian drums, you know, like when they do those drums, I will get so emotional. I will start crying. I can get up and start doing the dance. Right now it's getting me so emotional just if I even see it. And all this ceremony and stuff, like there's certain things that I just get to my core. And I think, so there's something about, you know, that I'm doing here now, and, you know, why they give me so much messaging, why I'm supposed to be trying to help people right now. And then that one that I went back to all of a sudden, where I was that little, like I kind of think of like Vietnam or Korea or something. I was a really tiny little Korean woman. And I've had so many things in this life that I have such a strong connection to, like Eastern philosophy. Like I always was a tea drinker. Yeah, I tried, you know, because always coffee's been a thing, but I've always been a tea drinker. I mean, it may be popular now, but it's definitely not, you know, I mean, coffee was always the way to go. So I was always kind of an oddball. But that was only because I was in this reality, in the reality that I was from before. But there was a lot of things that I feel about me carried over into this life from that one. And when I got that flash of that life and I was there, and I just, like in that one, I feel like I have pride over her. Like she was really a good person who enjoyed her life and stuff. And there was so much community. Like that group of women, when we were all down there crouching, it's like we all had each other's backs. We were there for each other, you know, that's what it feels like. And then of course, you know, the one where Stella killed me, that was a life that I had to go over and over and over as a child. So I don't even know how recent that one was, when I was that African guy who got killed by that large cat that was stalking. So, and I know that cat was Stella. And I see so much stuff about that now that give me so much confirmation. I know that's part of all of her pain, because she was a predator. And, you know, now she's going through the experience of pain, because she caused pain for a lot of other animals, right? So, but it's part of, you know, this going full circle with her and I, because I don't have any hard feelings towards her at all. I love her so much. And I was thinking just the other day how that kind of is trippy, how her having pain gives me so much empathy too. Like we don't hate. Even when something or someone kills us, we don't hate them, even though we think we do. Like it brings up those emotions in people. I think that the waves are about to switch. I don't even know why they do that. It'll say like 11 hours, ocean waves. And then all of a sudden, I don't know. It's got to be deals that some of these people make on their channels. Because, you know, certain ones, they definitely get promoted. So, but, you know, you got to be a distraction. You can't be a real channel. You can't be talking about real stuff. See, they always got to get their commercials in. I'll go to the waves in a second. Okay. So that life, you know, that was profound for me. And then when I went to that psychic that time, and she started telling me about the life where I was this jewel thief, and I was really beautiful, and I was a gypsy, but I used my looks to screw people over. And that is what I think when I was younger, I really think that the guys who screwed me over were probably ones I screwed over in that other life. It has to go back like that. You know what I mean? I really think that. I think that there's so much going full circle in this present time for us with all different past lives. But when you think of, you've lived thousands and thousands of past lives, even if you come up with 10, 12, 15 different ones that you're wrapping up cycles on, because they all have, it is all about the facets, the lives that you create the facets of a diamond. And so when, so that life with that one, so, was there another one? It seems like there was another one that I was shown. But anyways, I was feeling like, man, I've seen a lot of them. And when I did that other QHHT thing and I saw the hanging one where I knew somebody screwed me over and I was getting hung. And I'm not sure, I didn't know the whole thing, but I knew somebody was screwing me over. And that was something that as a child, I was constantly on guard. I was always like, somebody's going to screw you over. I had conspiracy, which also, don't forget, they were constantly telling me, you're a zoo, you're a lab, you're a zoo, you're a lab. So, all that could have been from them. I just knew that, there was someone talking to me. It's, only recently as it broadened my mind more of like, oh, I was my higher self. Back when I was a kid, I thought it was angels. So, anyways, I was in the that one. After I saw that one, I stopped having so much pain in my neck. And I haven't had more x-rays. I mean, it could have straightened it out some, I'm not sure. But you will physically heal when you see certain things like that. When they show you. That's why on my TikTok, I said, if you have some ailment that it won't go away and you can't figure it out. Because even with the gypsy one, where she said I was stabbed in the stomach, she didn't know that I had those birthmarks on my stomach and how much I feared knives and open water, because she said I was stabbed in the stomach and thrown overboard of a ship. And so those things will resonate because it's like, oh my God, as soon as you hear it, it's like, oh my God, all your fears come up. So, and when you realize that you are playing a role in each life, so whatever in this life, somebody screwing me over or whatever, when I get it in my idea that, well, in the other life, I was the one screwing them over. So it has to go full circle. We have to see all sides of our treatment towards people. We have to play all the roles for an experience. So it's part of the learning for a soul. You couldn't just go in and play, just play this one part and you get the whole idea. No, because you can see certain things bring up. I just saw one this morning. I think it was last night before I went to bed, and it was a kid needing a kidney, and they were online because none of those, so medical is refusing. So it was a lawyer, but all these situations are all unique to each soul's own. That's why, it's hard. You want to get, oh God, what can I do? How can I help? But then you're distracting yourself from what you need to learn, because that stuff is what they need to go through. This is their experience. But we're seeing so many different experiences, that it's making it. But that's where we got to keep pulling back to center, because you want to go in as a human who has humanity and empathy, especially as you're awakening. You want to help everybody and fix everybody. But that's part of the process, is allowing them to help themselves and allowing them to learn and grow. We can't fix anybody. So in those lives, I felt like I've had, I don't know why. I felt like, well, am I even, going to see another one or something? So it was just weird. So this morning I see this one TikTok and I was like, oh my God, I got to go and talk about this. And I go in the bathroom, start washing my face. And, I just flip up to the next one. And one of the ones was so interesting. I was a rapper being interviewed, and I mean, all the stuff that we hear is true. I mean, not only were they trying to get those rappers to create a hostile environment to get people, to cause chaos and crime, but they even had a meeting, he said, where they came in and they said, all the people who fund your records own the prisons, and it's part of your contract to get prisoners to fill those prisons with your words. And it's why certain ones are promoted and why other ones just disappear. It was really good, and it seemed like it came from a whole documentary. I only saw like a 3-minute clip, but it was really good. And it had several parts, so I'm sure that documentary is out there with music industry criminals or something. So anyways, then this one came on, and it was just music. It was just music, but it had this drum. And all of a sudden I got this vision. Well, first I started dancing all the time. Like, certain music can come on and I just like, because also when I was doing the building outside, and I kept feeling like I was turning into some kind of like pioneer man or an Amish man or something. Like, I would know how to do this stuff, and it was like showing me how to do stuff that I didn't know how to do. So that life comes to me all the time too. But so I started doing this dance, and all of a sudden I was just like hit with all this emotion. I just started bawling my head off, and I had this strong visual. It was me, only I was a black woman, and I was young, and I had some kind of skirt, the kind where, you tuck it up and put it down in your thing, and it had some sort of a hair thing, not like a turban, but kind of like a turban. And she just looked like an African woman. I don't know what time period, but the reason what the hip, was the carrying the water. And but when the thing that got me so emotional and stuff with her was how happy she was. So happy. She was so connected, and she was so happy. That was also like with that Vietnamese woman or the Korean or whatever woman I was when I was that lady. It was that kind of same kind of feeling of this connection. But this lady, the one that was that I started dancing, all of a sudden I got the visualization. It was like I became her for a minute. I guess you could kind of explain it like that. Where all of a sudden you are that person. You're not you anymore. And so I could feel her feelings and feel like she had pride. She loved her life. She was so happy. And it just put me into such the strong emotion all of a sudden, just to realize like who I am right now is such a small part of me. I am all these people. I'm all these different lives. And I don't even know if the only life I think I saw where I was white was when I was going to get hung. And it seemed like it was like cowboy kind of life. I don't know if I was rebellious. I don't know if my husband wanted to marry someone else. I don't know what the deal was, but maybe I was maybe I made herbs and gave them to people and somebody died. I don't know. It was something where I was getting screwed over. But that's the only one that I have seen that I was white. But when you think about it, most of the lives in this earth plane have been a lot of times where it was a lot of darker people, like way back. See, I still think there's just something with the DNA and how they mess with it to whitewash us. I think they're trying to do something about taking the melanin out of people, because that's why melanin is so expensive, because there's something to it. And you know, there's something all about it that we just don't understand. Because I mean, that we can even act like we're flesh and blood when we're really just a projection. That's just trippy, that we can just. And melanin, I'm sure it all has to do with frequency and color and resonance, and everything has to do with that. So I'm not sure how, you know, everything is about what we think. And that is what was my thing I wanted to talk about, why I was in such a hurry to go and rush and do this to begin with, was that while I was watching these TikToks, this one, I mean, I've been seeing, oh my gosh, so many. I mean, there's so much with the outrage. There's so much with the waking up and stuff. There's so much. I've seen so many things shared. So many people doing research and looking into things. I've learned so much by listening to other people and looking at their research, you know, giving them validity in what they're presenting. And that's the problem with the people who won't wake up. They're just not giving anything. They're shutting themselves off because they're scared. I think their consciousness is scared. They're scared of change. They're scared of their world falling apart. It's scary what happens when you have to start facing this reality and who and what you are. So then, while I was watching them, and there was so many good ones, but this one, when it came on, it was showing us stuff that's going on in China. And so some water that goes through the middle of town, some river or something, turned red, and they have some shelf cloud thing. Remember how I was saying before, a couple months ago, how I was saying about the sky stuff and how it's so weird, and how I started looking, like I could never get the videos to really show, but I kept trying to show how everything looked like a backdrop. Nothing looked real. And then plus this inversion in the sky. I kept saying, it's like everything is going upside down. This doesn't make any sense how the sky looks. And so in theirs, this is a few months back too, they started having some sort of a weird looking sky. It looks like an inverted sky too, because it's complete black cloud shelf thing down low. It's super tall, like mountains, but it's like so dark and gray. Then it has like a white stripe, and then it looks like a normal sky. And that is some sort of other kind of not a proverb, prophecy. And then they had another thing too. I can't remember the other thing, but the news was talking about the water, and they were saying that this company put poison in it or whatever. They were arguing about that. But while I was watching, all of a sudden it was just like, see, the things that they believe are going to happen, they're making them happen. Every single different place, like I keep saying, it's all different planets in the idea of planets. Every different country. I don't even know how, I mean, it could be from different states, you know. I think that probably continents, the whole continent, it would be a planet. But there's still different realities in the planets. But so, if you think about like North America and Canada, see, we're having similar kind of things. And we all kind of look similar. We all kind of, you know, there's a similarity to this place. Like you could think of it as being a planet if you look at planets the same way I'm looking at them. And then like South America and there's got to be some sort of, attachment there, or small gap. Even though Mexico is attached, they still, you can see how they migrate from South America, and how Mexico could become like a gateway planet or something, So that whole system. And if you go there, how all the people just kind of look alike. They kind of have a similar kind of life, similar kind of experiences. Then, so if you go to each different one and you look at it like it was a different planet, not to say that there's not going to be a mix of different people, because, we've all been mixing under the firmament. We go around to different realities, different planetary systems, different, different experiences. We go into those places even when we're not birthed into that place. But where you're birthed into is kind of like you match that place. You know what I mean? And so then if anyways, if you see us as the creators of our reality, which we know that that's true, and we know that the CIA was even studying it, and that's part of their whole agenda, is using our power against us. So they know how to harness our energy. We don't, because they've been lying to us and telling us that we're this big when we're really, huge. We're everything. So then if we if they know how to direct our energy and they use fear, it is like kind of like that Twilight Zone episode. Is that the one, like with the little boy, and if you couldn't make him mad if he didn't like you. You're like, I don't like you. He'd put you in the TV or something. But I don't know, that wasn't what I was thinking of, I don't think. It was when you create your own fear. Like there's a way to promote you to create your own fear. And so like over there, where they all are like scared of this thing, it said in the thing, they're all scared of this. Like this means this to them. So all this chaos, and then all of the fear that is directed, and then they create like their worst fear. And they have shown that in movies, like how like I can't even think, I can't see it clear enough, but I know I've seen movies where they use that idea that they are going to know your fear, and then you're going to create your fear using this energy. If it's your energy creating it, or they give you the message, how it all works, I don't know. You probably have to go in and study those CIA papers or something, but there's something to it, and it's playing out right now, where people are creating their fears of what they worry is going to go on. Like there's so many, even where I was talking to, I just saw the name yesterday. I was like, oh, that is how you say it. I can't think of it now. But like over in Eastern Europe, or even over, one of them, that's what I saw yesterday too. There's a few different countries that are really upset about the United States right now, that we've interfered and we've caused problems in their countries. And they're very upset, and that's all coming to the surface. And it seems like we are causing problems right now in their countries. Like that has to come to the surface, their fear, and then we provide the service, because they're creating their fear, because they're processing it. So here we are like this, how so many people are so scared of the WHO and all of this stuff occurring in the camps. Oh my gosh. And they've even on the news showed how they're going to divide us up in districts. And I would be in the 10th district, which when you look at it, it's fucking Hunger Games, dude. It's like we are creating what we fear because we need it to play out so we can release it. So I did this TikTok this morning trying to get people to understand, if we quit focusing on our fears and we start focusing on our desires. But we're creating this beast because we're scared it's going to happen, so we're making it happen. For some reason, it's part of what we have to go through, I guess. But at any point, we can stop and we can say, hey, we're not giving you our energy anymore. We're done giving you our energy. Now we're going to give it to us. We're going to give it to ourselves and what we want for our lives. But so many people are so fearful, like, oh, they're going to take the food. Why not go to the next step and go, oh, I'm going to make my own food. All they do is sell me garbage anyways. And, start growing your own food. Ooh, and I saw that one guy who I said, you should go in and watch his videos. Like, there's so many on TikTok. I saw he's only got like 13 on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe they're longer than the ones on TikTok. Maybe the TikToks are just like segments of it. But he was saying he's big on the vegan. But he also did say, listen to your body. Because we all are unique. You have to listen to your body. You cannot just stop something immediately like that. If your DNA has lived off of meat and, you're going to go into a full crisis, so many people start getting super sick because people just don't understand how significant their DNA really is to who they are and what they are. So, and it all goes all the way back with your lineage. And like even when you go back to remember past lives, it is like we are all of these things. We aren't just this, but we're also connected so much that we can be going in and there's something in our heritage and our DNA and our lineage that we're all connected. We carry each other's. So it's the fabric of what makes everything up. It's how we go all the way back up to source, how we are just the fragments now. But anyways, when this guy was talking about the food thing, and he pushes for vegan for a whole bunch of different reasons. Most spiritual people do, but the spiritual aspect of this, you have to do this, you have to do that I don't agree with. I believe you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to your inner knowing and don't follow somebody else's rules. And anyone who is really spiritually enlightened wouldn't be trying to force you to follow their rules, I don't think. But, that's to my level of understanding. So maybe I don't understand their level. So anyways, when he was talking about that, he did some stuff about the different animals and stuff, and some have a really short intestinal tract, so they can eat meat because then it poops out of them really quick. But humans, it stays in there a long time, and so it rots, and some of it stays. I guess people who eat meat, you can have rotting meat way up in your intestines, and that is what can be causing you a lot of stomach problems and GI symptoms. So but that's for somebody to tune into their body and see, start recognizing, then you start moving towards that. You go into communion with your body. You're like, hey, we got to start going into a different kind of eating. You need to, we need to work on this. And it may tell you, like, do some research onto some foods and stuff. Like I was guided into, reading this stuff with Stephen Gundry, who I always say, you want to understand stuff about your GI and your body and stuff, go in and listen to him. Read his books. He's like, I think he's another level. But anyways, but when I was talking the other day about when somebody's sick, and I said, well, I guess it depends on what's up in there. That is what I was saying. Like, some people store a lot of rotting food inside of them. And then when they have a lot of gas or something, when people say, oh my God, what died inside of you? Yeah, because you've got a lot of rotting food up in there. And one of the good things too, just having the long coily intestinal tract, I say, is to drink kombucha or fermented foods of some type, probiotics, because it helps build up your ecosystem, because all the chemicals and all of the toxins they give us destroy our ecosystem in our intestine, and that's why you get gas and bloating and all of that stuff. It's because you have a system that is supposed to be working and the toxins are interfering with it. So it is important to focus on your health, but you also need to do it like treat your body like it's a living being. There's something to the whole thing with mind, body, spirit. Your body's not just waste product. It is, it is like a spacesuit, and it is what can take you into other realities, but it has life that we give it. But we have to be in communication with it. There's something like what I'm seeing is in these spaceships. And part of the technology disclosure stuff, if you go in and watch videos and stuff, usually you find most of that stuff, I think. There could be other ways, but ufology stuff, you'll find a lot of stuff about hidden history and technology and stuff like that. So there's a lot in the ufology community about that kind of stuff. But so there was a ship that was found, and I think they currently have this ship. I'm not sure, but anyways, there was a chair in the ship, and when you sat down in the chair, it feels you. Seems like it even gripped you, but it feels you, and you move it with your intention. Everything with this ship is moved with your intention. So kind of like as consciousness, we come into this vehicle, but when we can master this vehicle, then we can master bigger ones, you know. So there's something about that whole thing. But when you really start understanding that this is a vehicle for your soul, and part of your mission is to understand and go into communion with it, to I don't know why I'm hearing give it authority in my head. Sometimes things come into my head and it doesn't, but I don't necessarily know all the stuff that I'm saying all the time anyway, so it may make complete sense. But so it is like you give authority to it to move you around, you know, so you can go in and you can experience. It's kind of like what just popped into my head is Mr. Robotnik, but I wasn't thinking of him before. But how in the second one, how he's got his, I think it's called a mushroom man or something. I'm not sure what it is. Some big guy, and he's the little guy inside of it that's moving it around. And so he can go and crush things and, you know, cause chaos or whatever. So that is what your soul is like, though, inside this being. Like, he didn't need it. I mean, he could go out and walk around. We don't need it. When I came out of my body before, I was the same. But there's a purpose. There's a reason why we're in these bodies. And when I was out of my body, I don't know that, you know, could I have felt someone touch me? I don't know. There's something to our senses in these bodies. There's something all about the being birthed into a reality, and then this spacesuit that gives you the ability to move around in the environment, and not only that, but to have the senses so that you can read the different sometimes I don't know what words that would be, but you know what I mean. So like you can touch something, you have sensors that tells you, oh, that's hot, oh, that's cold. So we have this giant being, because we're not that giant. This is giant for our soul, even though our soul is energy and goes outside of here, but that's like the light that's emitted. You can have a little source for the light, but it has the energy that will broadcast. So the light inside of us is around our heart, is where we are centered. And that, I think it all has to do with this heart center, and then your kundalini and moving up to go to your Christ consciousness that expands all your life. But when you're in the lower chakras and you're just trying to learn and observe yourself, you know, and grow, then there's a purpose to that. There's no reason to try and skip that part. Like anybody who's going through those parts, there's a purpose to it. And I just feel like that there's a good reason. Like you can ask about the past life thing. I'm telling you, it really does work. I've done it so many times. And I'm not sure. You know, just seeing that and acknowledging her existence and seeing, you know, I mean, she was so happy. She was so happy. She was like, I don't know. I'm going to start grinding. Because it's weird. Because sometimes you can't see yourself. But you can see this other being that is you. But it's not in this life. And you see him and it's like, she's such a good person. You could just feel it. You know, you could just see it. You could see it in her eyes. Like she carried so much love. So I don't know, just acknowledging her and just remembering her is going to do the healing. You know, sometimes it will come in segments. So you can ask for something and then you will get, you know, that I will keep talking about this however it plays out. You know, if there's more stuff that I'm shown or whatever about it to help me heal, which I would think there could be. And sometimes you can be shown something in a dream and you don't remember it when you wake up, but on your soul level, it will help you, you know. So you can ask for these healings and to be shown. But a lot of people see that they would be shown and then they wouldn't trust it. They would think, oh, I just made that up. My brain just made that up. So, you know, you're not going to get as much from it if you're constantly doubting the information that comes in. You have to trust. You have to trust this world that you've been told is craziness. You know, you've been told forever. All this stuff is crazy. And only crazy people think this. You know, only crazy people believe the TV's talking to them. But no, that is the world around you trying to communicate with you. And the more you listen, the more they'll talk. So anyways, there was like a couple different things I was gonna say. But anyways, I've been talking a long time already. Just you know, I will see how it does affect me. Like right now, I still feel like it's sore on this one side, but it made so much sense because, you know, in my mind right away, I'm like, why are you showing me her? And there has to be a reason. And then they showed me that carrying the water thing. But maybe I just needed to acknowledge her right now and see this beautiful side of myself that I don't have awareness of. And maybe that's going to help me find balance and straighten my spine, you know? It all works like that. Everything is representative of what you need to grow and learn about yourself. And that is this beautiful time we're in. And that's why I say don't just focus on the traumas going on in other people, because those traumas are happening for them to bring up what they need to purge out, what they need to let go of. And the more that we all do that, the more we all work on our own stuff and we purge it out and focus on our divinity and focus on what it is that we want for our future. Not what we fear, but what we want, what we desire. What is our deepest desires? What is our best outcome? When we focus on that, it does start magically happening in your own life. You know, even though it isn't on a grand scale, like I'm still being sprayed, I'm still being interfered with the weather, but today I'm going to go outside and I'm going to actually do the staining today. I'm so excited. I got the sanding done and I've been watching the weather and it's just been wackadoo. I mean, they'll say, oh, it's going to be all sunny for 4 days. And then you go check an hour later. Oh, it's going to be raining. Oh, it's going to be cloudy. Oh, it's like, oh my God. But you can see that whatever artificial light we've got today, that, oh man. And I swear, when you spend time outside, you get sick. I can see why Stella is really suffering. I don't know what they're spraying on us. I don't know what's in the air. I don't know what's in the ground that every time you step comes up, you know. One thing also in that show that I said, Euphoria? Yeah, Euphoria with the U on Prime. One thing that it started in the very beginning of the show where I was just like, oh my God. Where I was saying about this being sprayed with green, that we're just getting this spray of green. This show starts with this woman who is out all dressed in white, going and spraying green on grass. That to me is a couple different things. This artificial world, and disclosure, we're spraying you with something that's green. Some kind of freaking poison. And I see it. And you can't just wash it off of stuff. I mean, pollen, if it's moving through the air, then, you know, these giant dumps of this green stuff. And then you try and wash it off, and it doesn't. It even activates something in it, which that's new too. I think that there's whatever chemical mix, because it's all chemistry, you know. It's all them doing experiments on us all the time. And, you know, when people sit there in my comments, like, and they just think like, oh, like they've outsmarted the government because they didn't do that. It's like, then you have no awareness of what's going on around you. Start paying attention. Wake up to what's happening in your environment, in your orbit. Because shit is going down. They are doing stuff. And, you know, we still have to go through that. But also we have to just have a good attitude. And know we'll get through it. Spend time in meditation, focusing on what it is you want for your best outcome. Don't let them beat you down. Don't let them take away your resilience. You know, this is all a mind game. This is a war about information. It's a war of good and evil, light to dark. But it has to do with, you know, the staying strong. Don't let them beat you down. Remember who you are. You're a strong, powerful being. You're eternal. And all they can do is try and keep telling you that you're going to die. You're going to die. You could go to hell. Dude, we're in hell. We're ascending out of hell. So anyways, just stay strong and, you know, focus on you and focus on your past lives. I'm telling you, it really does. It is very impactful, super impactful. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.